Hey, dear ones. So I wanted to talk today about something that's been coming up a lot in with the people that I have sessions with. So this difficulty with eating. So feeling like I don't want to eat, nothing sounds good, I have no desire. It should be fun to eat. Why don't I have an appetite? Um, why isn't eating fun for me? This kind of a thing. And then people avoiding eating and getting really depleted physically. Okay, so first of all, um, when we are in a dorsal or a more immobilized state, we are going to have an increased appetite. And I've made a few other videos about this, but I just kind of want to bring all the information together. So we're going to have a decreased appetite because when you're needing to hide from a predator, you don't want to be eating because the food itself will smell and you'll make noise chewing and swallowing and all that good stuff. But then also you don't want to trigger the digestive process because chewing is going to release the all the saliva and chemicals and mechanism that says like, let's digest. So when that digestion process gets started, then it's more likely that you're actually going to eliminate waste, which is also going to smell and make noise, right? So on both ends, it's going to draw attention to you and the predator's more likely to find you. So when you're in more of a freeze state or a dorsal or immobilized, whatever you want to call it, is very common to have decreased appetite and constipation, decreased digestion, right? And that's a safety mechanism. And so when we try to force ourselves to eat, we're really going against that evolution. And we want to be careful with doing that, right? We don't want to avoid eating, but we also want to be really gentle about what we do eat. So think about what you would do for someone who's recovering from surgery or recovering from is something very traumatic and they, like when people have someone pass away or something like that, we usually support those people with very gentle foods like soups and smoothies, applesauce, toast, crackers, these things that are really gentle on our digestive system. And this is because those digestive fluids, like mechanisms, are going to be a little inhibited when you're in this state. And so, if even if you can force yourself to eat something, you're gonna probably have an upset stomach from it, which is gonna make you less likely to eat, and it just like it makes the cycle more ingrained, right? So we want to reach for things that are very gentle, easy to digest, and if possible, avoid things that require chewing because the chewing again triggers that process and some people will get like a real big knot in their throat. They won't be able to swallow because the body's trying to say it's not safe to chew and swallow. Please don't, right? So liquid things again, smoothies, soups. Um, I'll put a video here about my favorite go-to is this peanut butter banana smoothie because it has a lot of calories, a lot of fat, a lot of protein, and I can get that down usually. Um, so, really stop pudding, ice cream. In this phase, we want to respect the nervous system, which can't do a lot of chewing and digesting, but also respect the fact that you're an animal and you need fuel to carry on. So in this phase, the food's not particularly going to taste very good. It's going to be a chore. Um, and it's okay to do it as a chore. There's some radical acceptance that comes in here. Like, yes, I would love to be a person who's really enjoying food right now and inspired by food, but I'm also, according to my long-term goals about staying on the planet and staying, following through with my relationships and my contributing to my community, etc. Um, I'm going to go ahead and do my chores. And one of those chores in this time period is eating. Just like, the brushing of teeth and going to the bathroom isn't pleasurable, but we do it because we know it's sort of a way to meet our long-term goals. So we're going to add food into the chore list and we're going to do it like a chore just until we get ourselves, over the hump and be able to support that immobilized nervous system. So some of the ways to integrate eating as a chore that you're going to do during this time can be to set alarms like 3 times a day or 4 times a day, however you want to do it. And I have another video about how when I'm in these states, I just put the food in front of me and I sit with it for 5 minutes. And I do my best to eat what I can. And this way, it sort of gives my body and my mind the time to adjust to, okay, we're going to sit with the food and we're just going to see what happens without putting a lot of pressure on it. Um, so we're going to set that alarm. If that feels right to you, you can put post-it notes around. You can ask someone, you can get like an accountability partner to say like, hey, have you eaten today? Because the other thing that can happen is when we prolong that time without calories, we're going to communicate to the nervous system that like, yeah, this really is a survival situation. And we're going to deplete all of our resources and have less stamina to be able to mobilize ourselves back up to ventral and get ourselves back to executive functioning. So we want to give calories in the way of like, I'm just doing this chore. And it does not matter what those calories are. If there's something that you're willing to eat, maybe it's ice cream, maybe it's French fries, maybe it's chips, maybe it's saltine crackers. Whatever it is, you just offer those calories without restrictions, knowing that this is not going to last forever. You're going to be supporting yourself so that you can have the wherewithal when you're ready to do your self-inquiry and understand where that immobilization is coming from, and then you'll be able to come back to your appetite. So we're just doing this as a short-term solution. The example that I have in my life is during pregnancy. I was so violently ill that I couldn't keep anything down. And the midwife just said calories. It's just calories. It does not matter at all what calories they are. So it's a big radical permission slip to say anything that you can get in your body, you just go ahead and do that, and get you through this time, knowing that on the other side of it, you can do the self-inquiry and support the immobilization. So again, French fries, ice cream, during my pregnancy, I basically ate Sprite and uh what was the Sour Patch Kids, and that's pretty much all I could keep down. And my kid is 12 and 5'7" and healthy and a beautiful human. So our bodies are amazing. And if we're doing something to support ourselves, then it'll work itself out. Our body replaces everything so often anyways. All these cells are like, all these cells are only 4 years old at most. So nothing is, going to do permanent damage. So big permission slip to just calories with no restrictions, just calories. Okay. Get your calories in, get them in multiple times a day. Use alarms if that helps, or an accountability partner. Um, Avoid chewing if you're having a really hard time like swallowing and getting food in. Do with soups and smoothies and puddings and ice creams. Um, and think of this, if it is feeling like a chore, just think of it like a chore. Yep, okay, I'm going to do my chore of eating. And then sort of to wrap it all up, I just want to offer this information from the Gene Keys. You can find the Gene Keys online for free to read the entire book. And the 55th Gene Key is the one that's sort of coming online in the next generation / 100 years. And one of the physical changes has to do a lot with the nervous system. And I think it's really resonant with this experience that a lot of people are having. So I'm just going to read this through. And you can feel free to go look, it's at genekeys.com, just type in the 55th, and you can read the whole thing. It's very long, very detailed, and it's also available on audio. So I just sort of let it wash over me. The secret of the 55th gift at the physiological level lies in a single element, salt. Salt has long been known for its purifying properties and its ability to leach toxins from the body. Every single cell within your body contains salt, and its balance within the body is a major key to health. Everything connected to this 55th gift is rooted in its literal and metaphorical relationship to water. As we learned through the 30-second gene key, water holds memory. When your emotions become really intense, you release memory through the salt in your tears and or sweat. What is beginning to happen to humanity now, and what will become more and more intense, is a process whereby ancient memories are being chemically released from our bodies. Heightened emotional awareness will gradually draw the toxic genetic memories out of the human form. At a physical level, this will occur through your sweat, your tears, and your urine. In the same way that seawater evaporates to leave behind its salt, so human beings are going through a process of evaporation and distillation. At a chemical level, we are beginning to change. A new network of neurocircuitry in the solar plexus is superseding the reptilian fear based neurocircuitry of the old brain. So we're moving from reliance on the lower brain and fear for survival to moving up to the executive function. As the 59th city testifies, human beings will gradually become more transparent as the body no longer produces the old chemicals created by fear. With the closing down of certain chemical processes associated with the hindbrain, the lower brain, the body's needs will radically change. Without the toxins created by fear, the body will need far less salt and it will become much less dense. As the human body's need for salt decreases, our digestive system will begin to mutate. This is, after all, a solar plexus mutation. The body will not only stop craving salty foods, but will actually reject them outright. This means that gradually humans will stop eating meat, and we will certainly not be able to tolerate the high salt intake provided by modern processed food. As our children inherit the mutation through their DNA, they may well be born with a physiological allergy to salty food and meat. All these changes are the result of the mutation and will come in their own time. During the current transition period, human beings actually require even more salt than usual in order for the toxicity of the past to be collectively purified. This is the hidden reason behind the current worldwide revolution in processed food. Nature knows exactly what she is doing, and we should take heart from this. Digestion is rooted in the mineral realm, in the way in which the body uses and dissolves trace elements from food and water. In the future, in a totally new way, we will become highly efficient at drawing and combining the elements from food. The mechanical means for this will be through our moods. In other words, our bodies will tell us exactly what we need to eat and when through the medium of our mood. One of the most likely effects of the mutation will be that we will simply not feel hungry as often as we do now, with the result that we eat far less. Added to this, our bodies will begin to find other means of absorbing higher frequency food through air and sunlight. Eventually, far down the road, when the final pieces of the cosmic chess game are in place, the sixth city will flower within the collective, making our skin totally translucent, thereby allowing us to live purely unlight. So, that is one perspective that can give us some insight into why, food may be becoming a bit more of a chore and why we may be more interested in processed foods. And either way, I love the line that says, the earth knows what she is doing. Um, and we should take heart from this, embrace it. Whatever it is that is going on with your body is just doing its best and it's morally neutral. And if we can come as a loving, supportive adult companion and say, I know you're not hungry, but you need to eat something right now, and I'm going to give you something. What feels good? Can I give you some toast? Can I give you some crackers? Can I give you a smoothie? Something like that. Okay. Lastly, the please skill, which is one of my most often used skill from dialectical behavioral therapy, um, really supports this idea that we have these chores of keeping this physical body in its best condition. And this is the best way to support your mental health, your ability to find peace and calm and to decrease anxiety and stress. So I'm going to also link the please skill. It stands for treat physical illness, um, exercise, which is just gentle movement, doesn't have to be real rigorous. Avoid mood altering substances, get adequate sleep, and eat adequate nutrition. Okay, so those five can, big swaths of the past 10 years, I have focused on just those things. And if you're having a particularly difficult day, you put everything else off of your list and you just focus on those 5 things and supporting this animal body of yours. Okay. So, also lastly, the school community group is up and running and introducing in the next week or so this virtual space where we can actually like pop in using a link and you'll have access to video and audio if you want, and you can connect with other people in real time and say, hey, I can't eat today, could you sit with me while I eat a snack? Or hey, could we have a cup of tea together? Or hey, I'm really feeling mobilized, could you do some gentle movement with me? Or hey, does anyone want to meditate right now, or go on a walk together? It's really cool. It looks like a little like Mario Brothers game, and you have a little avatar, and you can see each other walking around. And I'm creating a beautiful space with like a lake and some picnic tables and an inside space, and you can meet together. And it's just fascinating. It's called Gather. It's a program called Gather. I'll put a little link to that too if you're curious. But come join us. It's a beautiful, beautiful group, and I'm really grateful for it and wanting to move more towards this mutual aid so that we can support ourselves in real time because we can, when we're in our calm state of mind, we can think about all these concepts, but it's in those nervous system defense states that we really deserve support, and co-regulation is the best way to do that. So love you very much, and hope to see you again soon.